Amanda. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for taking some time every day to hang out with me. Today's video, we are testing out the ColourPop Cherry Crush collection. We have the palette and the 2 serum blushes. I do understand that this is an older collection of ColourPops, but this is going to be in collaboration with my girl, UneekBeautyLove. She is one of my fellow Carolina girls, and I'm honored to be part of her Unique squad, so I felt like this video is still worthwhile doing, and I have a bunch. And I mean a bunch. Here's most of them that we're going to be doing swatching comparisons. I'll link my collabs playlist, eyeshadow palette reviews, and swatches playlist to watch previous videos. And if you're visiting from Patrice's channel, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you subscribe and give this video a like before you leave. And for reference, this is what the Cherry Crush palette looks like. These serum blushes are new to me. I do own a handful of them. I haven't gotten around trying them yet, so this is going to be the perfect video. I am so excited because cream blushes have been one of my new favorite items of 2021. To kick off this video, we're going to do some swatches of this palette. This palette retails for $14. Cerise Cherry Stem. First time's the first, I made a gash when I did some swatches on both Sweet Like and Tie a Knot. I'm a little upset with myself right now. Tie a Knot, Very Cherry, Juicy Juicy. Scarlet, Black Cherry, Take a Bite. And this is the Cherry Crush palette swatched. Let's compare with some existing ColourPop 9pan palettes. Up first is Strawberry Shake. And here is Cherry Crush, swatched next to Strawberry Cake. Up next is Main Squeeze. Here is Cherry Crush versus Main Squeeze. Next is Ooh La La. And here is Cherry Crush next to Ooh La La, Cloud Spun. Guess you don't really realize how much of an arm workout swatches are until you're 4 palettes deep. And this is Cherry Crush versus Cloud Spun, Wine and Only. And Cherry Crush versus Wine and Only. Now that we've seen swatches and comparisons, grab your brushes, grab your palette, let's create a look. Something I want to do moving forward when I test out palettes, I want to use an eyeshadow primer on one eye and concealer on another. Heads up, there is a lot of kick up in this shade. Oh, and some fallout too. It's okay, we can clean that up in a bit. It's a tad patchy. As Dory says, just keep blending, just keep blending. What do? We blend, blend, blend. I wish I could say I'm surprised by this shade giving me so much difficulty, but these deeper shades, it's very common. I understand this probably would have shown up better if I cut the crease. Sometimes hooded eyes just don't look good with cut creases. One thing I am noticing with Juicy Juicy is that it looks a little bit more pink on the concealer side versus the primer side where it looks more purple. So there's actually a little bit more of a distinctive look to this shade as opposed to just blending in with Take a Bite. Maybe it's the shades that I chose, but I feel like everything is just blending in together. I thought about taking a shade from the palette for the inner corners, but I'm gonna take Flexitarian. Real quick, gonna add some bronzer before testing out those serum blushes. We have Sour Cherry and Cherish You. Sour Cherry. Sour Cherry, Cherish You. I have two of the same exact brushes that I'll be using. And these are both blushes blended out. Based off swatching them, they seem to go on a little bit more thicker, but when you blend them out, it's a lot more thin. Like, I definitely thought that these swatches were going to be super pigmented, so overwhelming. So I'm getting the sense that it's going to be a formula where you build up to your liking. I hope that's true. We'll see how many coats we go on the cheeks. So we're gonna do Sour Cherry on this cheek and Cherish You on this one. All right, so here we go with Sour Cherry. All right, it's actually pretty pigmented. I definitely got a lot on my cheek. Woo, girl. Luckily, I love blush. A little goes a long way. I probably should have like taken a little bit and just applied it on my cheek. I don't know, maybe it's the squeezy tube. Because like I like the doe foot that Rare Beauty has. It made it a lot easier to control, where this just kind of just squeezed out and did its thing. I had a little bit more control of how this one dispensed and not as terrifying. For sure, a little goes a long way. And here we go. Look at all that blush. What you gonna do with all that blush on your cheeks? It looks like I'm sunburned. And then I'm gonna finish with my Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. And then topping off with my Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Date Night. So after testing out the palette and the 2 serum blushes, I was not expecting that with these blushes. I definitely think it's going to be a learning curve. A little goes a long way. As you can tell on this cheek, this one's a little bit more under control, but it just came out. I tried the best of my ability to keep blending and blending. Maybe a powder would help it a little bit, but I really liked it. It's a super comfortable formula. It doesn't look cakey. They're definitely a little bit more pigmented than I thought they were going to be based off the swatch on the hand. I definitely thought it was going to be one that you just build, and we just went in heavy-handed right away. So that's on me. And then with this palette, you know, I'm a huge collector and fan of ColourPop. I own about like 95% of their palettes. I'm a huge fan of the formula, Color Stories. This is one that I absolutely did not need in my collection. I did run into a little bit of issues with Take a Bite right here. I thought it was a little bit harder to blend, had a lot of kick up, it was a little patchy. You know, just patience, just keep blending, and we eventually got it to work. I wish the shimmers were a little bit more brighter. In my opinion, I think that they're very closely related to their respective mattes, like a Berry Cherry, Black Cherry. They're very similar, as well as Juicy Juice and Take a Bite, because the shimmers definitely get a little bit lost on the lid. So I just wish there was a little bit more distinguish between the two. Maybe it's just the color combination that I chose, because in the overall look, I feel like everything just ended up blending together, which isn't necessarily bad. It's just I like a little bit more defined definition in my looks. Perhaps some of those palettes that we did comparison swatches to, it'll be good to pair with. I know I don't always pair my palettes, or if I'm just grabbing like a duochrome single from an indie brand to top off a look. I would love to know, did you guys pick up this collection? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks to best apply and blend out these blushes, and if you have any favorite color combinations from this palette. And don't forget to check out Patrice's video. Her channel will be linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.